Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. It really just depends if you're new here or not. I want to give an update on the CinnamonToastKen situation, but then I also want to talk a little bit personally to you guys. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the CinnamonToastKen situation, I want to give a brief rundown on it, but I also highly encourage y'all to check out the last video that I did make about it, so it can give you guys a little bit more context. So everybody's mad at Ken right now because he made a video saying, I make fun of a guy who claims he's too depressed to clean but can go on TV, and now people are mad at me. Now in that video, Ken made a lot of jokes about this guy that a lot of people had taken issue with. I personally didn't, but it is what it is. Everybody reacts to things differently. Everybody takes offense to things other people won't take offense to. It's the internet, you know what I mean? Like, you're never going to come across one specific thing that everybody is rooting for. There's always going to be different people with different opinions who some like it, others won't. And it is what it is. It's the internet. So then I made a video about it. I talked about the situation and I said, I don't understand why people are making a big deal about it. It seems to be the same shit he says in all his other content. And it's Ken. He jokes. He's not going to come in taking something seriously unless he's actually doing a video where he wants to be serious. It was content as regularly scheduled. His normal content with Dane where they make fun and pick apart things, you know, just to get some laughs. And again, it's the internet. Some people found it funny, some people found it hilarious, other people found it incredibly offensive and cancel-worthy. There was a lot of people saying Ken lost the plot, and there was actually a live stream that he did that we also covered during that video. And then after the video was live, he ended up making a statement over on YouTube saying Dane has decided to step away, which is the co-host, after that drama had happened. Here it is. You can pause it to read. It's up on the screen right now, but because there's so much we have to talk about in this video, I just don't want to take the unnecessary time reading it for you guys. Now, he made that post as a joke because a lot of people were saying his channel's gonna die and he's gonna lose all these subscribers and he's gonna get repercussions, so he decided to just run with it and make it seem like Dane was walking away from the show, you know, just to like feed more into the people and what they were saying. After that, he ended up coming clean and making an updated post saying he has a new co-host. It is Dane, which aka Dane is Buffpro. He just referred to Dane as Buffpro in the first post of him leaving, and then referred to him as Dane in the post with the new co-host. And again, the post is right here, that updated post saying that they have the new co-host and it's actually Dane. You can pause to read if you like. Like I said, I'm not going to do that for you. Why I wanted to make this updated video is, of course, there is an update, but also I wanted to give like my real thoughts and opinions on it because during the video I was kind of nervous to make it because it's the internet and I'm kind of a soft little bitch at the end of the day, and like I understand we're not always going to agree on everything, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, I don't explain things correctly a lot. My mind works faster than my mouth does, so I'll be saying something and I'm like 2 sentences ahead of my brain and my mouth's just starting to catch up. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't say things how I want to say them all the time because I'll think of like the best way to say it and that thought's gone. Then I just have to kind of like improvise. But to be honest, as crazy as my thoughts were for that video and as much as I misexplained to myself, it was pretty clear the point that I was trying to make, which was I'm standing by Ken during this situation. I even originally titled the video, Why I Stand By This YouTuber Who Allegedly Made Fun of Depression. And out of all the content I've made in the past, and also I'm very sorry, I know this seems like a huge rant, but I promise it has everything to do with what we're about to react to in just a minute, which is his live stream that he did with Dane and his wife, where he tried to be more serious about it and then like actually talk to you guys about the situation and not push it as a joke like he did for the last one. Now here's the thing that I didn't mention in my last video, but after looking back at it and his other content, I was like, why is it an issue now? And I even said that during the video. I was like, this has always been his humor. How he goes about his content, it's not like he dramatically switched up talking shit just for this one video about a guy with alleged depression. And I said, you know, if you're going through a mental health episode, or if you are and have struggled with mental health for a really long time, sometimes you react to things differently than you would if you weren't currently going through that mental health crisis or episode. if I'm pissed off, I'm not going to laugh at something that I would typically laugh at if I was in a better mood. And that's how it works, vice versa, with anxiety and depression. And in that video that he made, I feel like a lot of people, and I could be wrong, this is just how I interpret it. Again, it's the internet. Everybody views things different ways. But I interpreted that video as, oh, he's talking shit basically about a guy with alleged depression, not wanting to clean his house for 4 freaking years. And people were taking it as personal jabs like, Ken, I don't think you realize how depressed your audience is, and it actually is hard to get out of bed. It actually is hard to clean, and there are days I don't want to brush my teeth because I don't have the motivation to. And that's very real. But I even said in my video, he was talking about somebody who put themselves out there on national television to show off that lifestyle, and he wasn't taking personal jabs at you guys. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get forward into the video now, and I'll explain more later. I probably lost so many of you guys, but I have so much more to say. I just want to start reacting to the video because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, it's just going to be Revo talking. It's my channel, welcome. Yeah, let's get into the video because him and Dane make a lot of really valid points that I can continue my commentary off of. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
Ken is playing a character sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like obviously too much too fast, I would say.
Yeah,
right? It's like,
but
this is stupid.
I'm better than everybody. Like, it's
well, I've also told
it's
people,
not real.
I've also told people that reality doesn't exist without me. Like, it's
right. Yeah,
but
yeah.
It really is that dumb. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. I'm legitimately trying to be honest. That's just as far as I went with it. I'm just a YouTuber, a content creator. That was it. So there's literally nothing more to my thought process during all that. Yeah, there were some comments about, like, when I go back to my kids, they were like, there was a time when I was streaming where one of the kids had pulled Layla's hair, my daughter, and I had gotten on to them for pulling her hair, and I had also gotten on to her for hitting him. We try to teach our kids not to, like, hit each other, right? But some people had a problem with that. They're like, "Oh, what do you do? Why are you treating her like that? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, she turned around and, like, punched him and made him cry." And I was like, "Well, that's not an appropriate reaction. Come tell me. Come tell your mom if they're pulling your hair or something like that."
She's a lot bigger than them too.
She's what now?
She's a lot
bigger than them. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's just like, and I don't know, that one was like one of the ones that I read, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm kind of at the point with the people that are this mad at me and they're saying this stuff. I'm kind of like, I know they're probably not listening to me, or they are, and they're poking holes in everything that I'm saying, or finding other reasons or whatever. But I am trying to take the opportunity just to be honest about it. I called Dane early before he started pickleball. I was like, "Hey, I want to stream. You want to swing by?" And he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, man. Like, there's people mad as expected, but there's some people that are mad. And he was like, "Yeah, all right, sure, I'll be there." And I'm just going to bring this up because I know this is probably another thing, like, you can believe me or not, whatever. Dane, like, literally just pulled up right before we started the stream, so I haven't, like, sat him down and coached him to say anything that he's saying. And even like we're getting rid of Buffpro and introducing Dane, you know, that was just like another jab, because I was, like, going through reading comments and be like, yeah, Dane's distancing himself. He doesn't want to be involved with Kenny. He doesn't want to get brought down with him. Without Dane, the whole thing's over with. The channel's gonna die. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, Dane's gone. And we lost like 1,000 subscribers.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. So like 1,000 people are like, nope, done. And I was like, all right, here's Dane, you know. But then, even though I had posted it, the previous one had gotten traction with the algorithm, so they were still seeing that without seing the Dane's here.
Oh, I'm back.
So I think people still think
I ain't going anywhere, guys.
Yeah.
As long
which I was like, I should probably delete it, but then I was like, I don't know, like, is it like at this point, is it a mistake to delete anything? Should I just leave it all there so that because one big thing that I keep seeing is like Ken's deleting comments. I haven't deleted anything. Like if you go to the Reddit, you can see the stuff that's there. On the side, there's a rule that says this is not like a CinnamonToastKen hate page, and so like everything there. If I was going to delete anything, I would just delete those, right? Like there are people that get banned, and their comments go away. But the people that get banned are the people that are being like freaking, you know, they're not there speaking their truth. They're there being assholes and freaking being real nasty. But
this is something else I noticed too that's like an ongoing trend. It shouldn't be a trend, but it's like something that everybody, not everybody, but here I am not speaking correctly. It's something a lot of people do. If they take offense with something that a content creator has done, but then there's other people who's like, yeah, I didn't take offense to that. To me, it's not that big of a deal. They're like, but it was a big deal. And he's a bad guy. Here's more shit he did. They like will start digging back into other situations that they took offense to in hopes that they can garner more people on their side taking offense to that content creator. And I actually screen recorded one of his latest shorts that was posted, I think, like a month ago. I could be wrong. It was posted some time ago before the situation even happened. So y'all can see this is literally his normal content. It's not like he went out of his way to be nasty for that one video that talked about depression. And I will continue my thoughts and opinions after.
Brainwave activity, that's 14%.
Boy!
I can't believe the doctors did that to her.
Oh, wow!
She done
The
gone to
producers left it in.
that dude. She done went to the chiropractor. The chiropractor's like, your brain is working at 14% capacity.
Your back hurts so much, you're just dumb.
Here's a picture of your brain. You see all these black spots right here? That's just dead brain cells.
See that number be greater than 80%.
Greater than 80%? Some say that we only use half of our brain. Amy uses about 14.
Doc, fix her back. That's crazy.
Her back hurts. What is all this? Now her feelings are hurt.
I know.
If she could read, she would be so mad.
She can read.
They put that little squiggly line after the 14. She don't know what that means. She's just looking right now like, huh?
Oh, these are pretty pictures.
Hey, why is that brain red? All right, now we get to the back popping part, right? Jesus!
Whoa! Whoa! Only her brain was working at 15%. She might notice she needs to wash them feet.
Now, I just wanted to show you guys that because that's their literal content. That is what they have always done together. For as long as I can remember, I've watched them for years, and my sister has watched them a lot longer than I have. So this is literally how they are. This is their personality. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but who the fuck is everybody's cup of tea? Nobody. Like, there's not going to be one specific person that everybody likes and enjoys. It's not for everybody. And that was one of the biggest points that I was trying to make in my last video as well. Now, why did I show that clip? That clip specifically, with Amy from the My 1,000 Pound Sisters. This is why. Because a lot of people are saying Ken's out here making fun of mental illness. Depression is alive. It is real. So are disorders. That's a mental illness. But in all this other content that he has, again, I'm not saying there's not one person out there who took offense to it, but nobody was really rallying against Ken until he talked about depression. He's made a lot of videos talking about a lot of creators and a lot of people on television that you could argue have a form of mental illness. And he's always been the type of person, along with Dane, who instead of dwelling on the sadness of the reality, he tries to just make it a fun thing, joke about it, because honestly, I'm somebody who, I go through mental health episodes, and I like to joke about it because it makes me not feel so stuck in that mental health episode. I can still laugh. I can still find enjoyment in situations. I even make fun of myself sometimes. So I like watching their content because he's not giving the, you are not alone, and there is help out there, and there is people you can talk to, and this, that, and the third. Feel bad for yourself, but not too bad, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not that. It's jokes. It's funny. It's him poking fun at things that I myself go through sometimes, and I laugh about it because it's not silly, but because you have to laugh at some point. You can't always go through a struggle and just keep it as a struggle. So that's why I wanted to show that clip, is just to kind of show you guys He talks shit. This is literally what he's done since he started his channel. And it hasn't changed. Sure, do the jokes always hit? No, they don't. But should he be canceled because he's not always funny? Not in my opinion.
Yeah, like, man, I don't even know, guys. What are we mad about? Like, you know, like it was.
Well, that's what you said to me when I called you. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, they're mad. He's like, what about what? Well,
Yeah, like he literally texted me, goes, "Hey, yo, I used you in a post." I was like, "That's cool." You know, like,
innocent Dane.
the thing is
You don't have to defend me. You can throw me under the bus if you want to.
well, yeah, sure, but like, there's nothing to throw you under the bus for, though. Like, I even if we're going to the video, right? Even if we go to the video, right? And hey, maybe some of our jokes didn't hit this time. I don't know, but like, when have you guys ever known us to just try to go in and just hurt somebody? You know what I mean?
That's kind of been the thing that people have been talking about, is like they've been like talking about my commentary. They're like, Ken's like being mean, you know? Like, usually we'll go in on somebody and be like, this guy freaking sucks, you know? But then we'll soften it by being like, but he's a guy, he's a human and he's having a hard time and he's going through things.
Yeah.
But I've stopped doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so now when I go in and hit the sting, I think it hits a little harder than it used to. And my thought for that was like, well, it's not because I'm like, don't feel like they're a human being or anything like that. It's like, because I've said it so many times that I feel like it's kind of I know, excuses, right? But it's like, obviously he's a person going through his own things. Apparently that guy went on to be like on other reality TV shows. We're not going to talk about the legitimacy of the show, because that's not really the problem. The problem is me going in on it and people identifying with me, making fun of people that are depressed and being like, Ken, don't you know that like people that are depressed, like they kill themselves? And my response was like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But obviously I missed the...
and it can be horrendous, you know, like that. I guess, I don't know, people probably don't know, but like, you know, I've been diagnosed with depression. Mental health takes a toll in my family so hard, you know, like I can't even.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I don't want to go in and say, you know, to the details of it, but like it's a real thing. Okay? And we know that. Like, we know that mental health isn't a joke. But like, when you come to, I mean, dude, life can be really bad if that's the only lens you have. If the only lens you have on life is a really bad one, where it's depressing, it's blue, it's dark, man, you can get stuck, right? So like, we like to lighten things up, you know. Maybe it's my defense mechanism where like I like to take things and laugh about it, you know, like even things that are kind of like, oh dang, you know, I'll try to make jokes about it, you know, like that's life, man. Like, we don't kick people while they're down, but like, hey man, if you're down and you're laying in some shit while you're down, that's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like, we might throw that out, you know? Like,
I think this is what has bothered me the absolute most about it is, well, first of all, too, before I get into that, I just want to say I understand exactly where Ken is coming from as a content creator. And I want y'all to understand this too, okay? As a content creator, if you make so many videos talking about, perchance, say I talk a lot about Eugenia Cooney. They make a lot of videos talking about, you know, certain people going through certain mental health episodes and try to shed light on it while also being jokey about it. And I try to do that as well over here on this page, and I've said it so many times, there's only so much dark that you can take before you've got to crack a little bit of a joke just to keep it balanced. You can't focus on this pit of depression all the time and be upset about what we continue to post about and witness over here on this channel, and the topics that we talk about are very dark, so I do try to joke around some. Not a lot, because I understand it's like a serious matter. But I try to give you guys like a little bit of, I can chuckle. Oh, let's get serious again, you know? And I've talked about Eugenia Cooney so much on this channel. I have made a lot of content on her, and mostly because y'all are very interested in it, in the subject. And when I take breaks from talking about her, my emails are flooded, like, talk about Eugenia Cooney again, and react to this and do that. And like I said, I've made so much content about her that there are moments I joke, and I don't say, but I understand, y'all, she is going through an illness, or this is her situation, I understand, or all this hate online, she deserves it for what she's been doing, but she's still human. And I stopped, like, saying, like, oh, but she's still a person, she's still this, she goes through this, has a sad life, you know? And when I would say those things, people in the comments would be like, yeah, we get it, like, we know she's still a person, we know that she goes through this, we know it's sad, but that doesn't defend what she's actually doing. I stopped saying it, not specifically for that, but because I felt like a broken record, and I knew y'all would get it at the end of the day. She's still a human going through those things, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about certain behaviors. Now, why did I want to bring that up and make that like a huge point? Something I really want y'all to think about is because if something's not okay to say, it's just not okay to say it. Why would something that's not okay to say be better if we said, oh, but she's still a person? He's just going through this. You know what I mean? Like, if it's inappropriate, it's inappropriate. Nothing's going to change that, you know?
I'll ask you this question, Dane. This is for the chat. And again, would you say, on like, as far as like YouTube goes, like my humor and kind of like, I don't know, would you say that I've like changed and become like am I any meaner than I ever have been that you've known me in the past?
No.
I dare say I'm nicer than I used to be.
Yeah.
but
That's actually, like, yo, seriously, that's probably real. Like, when I, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
then,
like,
again, that's not like an excuse to like, oh, it's okay for me to be mean now, but it's more of like, one of the good things about being a YouTuber over the years and like having a strong community that we have here of people that do like want to educate me on things that I've developed as a person. And I think that's kind of like one of the big hangups. There's multiple different ways to look at it, but I think for several people, especially the people that are being the loudest about it, it feels like a step back, you know? Like we built up and I'm like this good, wholesome dude, and I've like stepped back and like reverted into some different person that they don't know.
Nah, like, you've pretty much been the same guy. Like, I know I also have other friends who aren't like big Kitty fans, you know, like
What?
you know what I mean?
You know
like,
people that don't like me?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not like you switched up. You've been who you are since I've known you, and I do think that you probably have gotten better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, I keep seeing this thing in chat. You guys, seriously, every single content creator on the planet has had people come into their stream and donate and try to get them to read the name and it be some racist name.
Oh, is that coming up still?
That keeps coming up. Like, why are you dodging this? Because it's dumb.
Yeah, this is something I want to address too, and was it bad? It could have been bad, but at the same time, it's literally what the internet does. People in his live, when he went live to address the situation and like made it even further a joke, somebody donated to him a super chat. When you're a content creator, you're on live stream, somebody donates money to you, you typically say, oh, thanks to this person, say their name, read the chat. Somebody had made the username a slur if it was said and not the way that they had spelled it, but still could be taken out of context and be like, oh, he said a slur. And probably just did that to make the situation worse for Ken. I don't know why people do that. I don't think it's funny. I think it's really dumb. So I don't understand, but that happened. I have seen so many streamers that this has happened to, where the clips circulate then and people are like, oh, they knew exactly what they were doing, exactly what they were saying. Have y'all ever been reading something online and then you read something, or oh shit, I didn't know I was gonna say that, or you say it out loud, even reading it to somebody, you're like, oh my god, I didn't realize. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like this, or I didn't know I was gonna say, you know what I mean? If you're in the moment of something with your guard down, it could happen. If you're used to something like that happening to you and you go into a stream and you're not, like I said, used to it happening, your guard's not up to make sure you can censor. It happened to Ken, and now people are wanting to cancel him for that. Keep bringing it up and keep talking about it. And this is what I said earlier at the beginning of the video. There are people out there who will dislike something so much that somebody's done that they try to go through their past or older content or Reddit posts, but they go and search for whatever they can to bring up and use against that creator to make people hop on the bandwagon and be like, oh, we didn't like this one thing he did, but what about this? Or this? Or what about this? Or if you can't get people on that way, try to create a new drama that you can get them on the bandwagon of for not liking that person.
Oh, well, I could talk about that.
It's
Yeah,
dumb.
I read
It's not racist. You're not racist. Our group of friends is probably one of the most diverse I've ever seen. And we actually say racist things to each other in jest. That
don't tell us
wasn't
that.
racist. That wasn't a thing. Like, that was, hey, you got. I have streams when I first started. I had to slow down because I would shout out like the name as soon as I got a donation, like, hey, and then I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm also sexist now.
Why are you sexist now? When did this happen?
This is during the stream where I pissed everybody off yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't remember if I even finished the thought. I know I brought it up. I brought up our audience. Our audience is mostly women now, right? Or well, it was like 60-40, 60% women, 40% male.
And it used to be higher too. Like, it used to be like higher percent women, I thought.
There's like used to be like 73% or something.
Yeah.
And so I brought that. I was like, yeah. And the point that I was trying to get to was the change in the humor that, or the thing, like the commentary. I was like, well, if I'm making a bunch of fart and dick jokes and stuff like that, that's probably not going to fly that well with the woman audience. It's where I was going with it. I was like, it'll probably appeal more to the younger male audience, like it did back in the day whenever we did gameplay. And people are like, well, what do you got? You got a problem with women now? What are you doing, kid? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I should probably went back and like watch the stream to like see like what I had said and like where I had like messed it up. But I left it lingering open enough to like people to fill in the gap with like me being sexist. And then they go to the gameplay channel and like I'm ripping into, I think I'm ripping into everyone, but apparently I'm like extra mean to the women characters. And so,
Really?
I guess.
I don't feel like that. I feel differently about that.
Well, the video that everyone's mad about involved a dude, so
That's true.
doesn't mean anything's okay. I'm just pointed out.
Yeah, so here's this now too, apparently claims of Ken being sexist because he said something that he didn't finish his thought on and it was misinterpreted. And that's actually crazy because I can relate to this as well. And I'm not trying to make this video about me and my experiences, and I know I've been doing that a lot during this, like, as a content creator, I can understand, or I went through this, so I can I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give y'all, like, my true thoughts and opinions on the situation, and I just want y'all to, like, not just look at this from, like, a YouTube drama point of view, but, like, put yourself in also the same shoes to try to, like, better understand it. Now, if you talk about one thing, or if you start a sentence and you don't clarify that sentence before moving on, like if I would start saying one thing, see a chat or something, and then just start going off on the chat and like reading the chats and not finishing my actual thoughts on what I was originally saying, of course it would leave it open for interpretation if you're not finishing that thought. So when he said how, you know, jokes I would have made on my gaming channel where the audience was completely different, it probably wouldn't go over now well because my audience it's a different demographic, and that's understandable. I used to do gaming content. Nobody followed me over to my commentary. There's like 3 people, and they're people I know and I'm cool with and know my intentions, and you know what I mean? Like, it's a different demographic. If you subscribe for gaming content and that person starts doing commentary on topics you're not interested in, are you gonna stick around? Just because I started doing commentary, and my audience when I did gaming was predominantly male. It was literally like 80-20 when it came to men versus women in my audience. It was predominantly male. since I've started doing commentary, those numbers literally shifted exactly around to where it's 80-20 almost exactly, but now it's more women than male in my audience. The demographic is different, so it's different with what's okay to say. Not necessarily what's okay to say, but with how it's going to be interpreted. You know, it's a whole different audience here than what it was. Again, the only issue I see with this isn't that he's sexist, because he's not. That's the issue I see with this is people were mad at something that he's done, so now they're trying to make new things up about him to say he's this, he's that, and the third when he's not, and to bring up old clips in hopes people rally with it and get pissed off because they didn't get mad or offended by the clip of him talking about depression. Now we're getting to the part where his wife feels obligated to come in and defend herself and her marriage because people on the internet couldn't just get offended about something, speak about it, and then move on with their lives. They had to really hone in on Ken and say, well, you weren't offended by this, but what about this? What about this? And started going after his wife, trying to be in defense of her to make Ken look like the bad guy, but again, just twisting the narrative to push this bad image that they want people to see. But I do want to be very clear. They talk about how they're an age gap couple, and I'm judging. I am judging. I can't help but judge, you know what I mean? Like, we can all be judgmental. Like, we can just, it's not even just being judgmental, it's just like forming your own opinion with the information that was provided to you. But again, this didn't seem to be an issue before until this one situation happened where people wanted to cancel Ken. So let's get into it.
I don't know. I don't even know what I want to say. I'm feeling so anxious.
You feel anxious?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Sit down, and I'll get us rolling here.
Okay.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
Okay.
I know, right? Take it in. We're being serious, but I'll take the joke. Mary's sitting down. I know. Mary happens to sit down quite often. It is another bit of Mary can't have a chair until
I
we
think
get to
it's
5
funny.
million.
I think me being headless is like, it's like Powerpuff Girls or like I don't know, what's the Muppets, and you don't ever, like Muppet Babies, you don't ever, it's a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Now that could be confusing if you don't watch the channel, if you like you don't know the context behind it. It's like an inside joke on that channel at this point where his wife Mary will do content with him every now and then. It's mostly about Amberlynn Reed, and she's like in on the lore. Like, she has followed that shit since like day one. So she knows the lore. So when Ken started making content about it, she gave him like the full rundown of like what was going on, so he wasn't just getting into a situation without knowing the details or the context. And when she is featured in his content, she's usually standing up in the background and like, you know, just like talking about certain things. And it's a joke at this point that she doesn't have a chair and that he always just makes her stand up for the videos, and like her head's typically cut off from the video because it's like it's out of the screen, you know? So it's just like a joke on that channel. Basically, it's a bit for them that Mary doesn't have a chair. And even whenever he posted those videos, or the community tab post of Dane being replaced by a co-host, people were even in the comment sections joking about, oh, maybe Mary will finally get a chair. So that's just for context.
Mary used to make content and decided to step away because Mary did not like, I mean, if you'd rather say this instead of me, then feel free to.
I mean, it's, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen thing, right? I'm not a take the heat sort of a person.
Right.
I am a very sensitive person, and also kind of the audience that I cultivated throughout my time of being online, which was a really short amount of time too. Like, I did not have a channel for long. I did not make stuff on Instagram for very long. It was really, really, really good until I kind of got into a crowd of women who had similar interests as me, cosplay, modeling, who did more adult work. And a lot of their viewers became my viewers because that's naturally what happens. And a lot of the things that they would say about me made me really uncomfortable. So yeah. I stopped putting myself out there.
And one of the things I was talking about earlier, where I was like, we need to leave my family out of it, is ones that have been directed at my relationship with Mary. The most egregious one has been one where people are saying that Mary was 17 when we first started talking, and that the other part of it is that I trafficked her into the States.
Yeah.
Now,
The concept that I was 17 and groomed is just so incredibly false. And I've seen people today making comments on the Evelyn video and on I looked on the Reddit, which was like the stupidest thing in the world for me to do, in support of me. Like people saying that they like me or that they used to watch me and that we were talking when I was underage, but nothing happened until I was 19. That's false. That is so, so false. And I have all of the messages to prove it. I have screenshots of a status update that I made when he messaged me back for the first time ever because I was so like, I love him so much. And I have all of our like original conversation. I was 19 and a half. So I understand that some people still think that that's really young. That is young, but like I started university at 17. I was in my second year of university when like I'd moved out of home. Like I was an adult.
so aside from the 17 and trafficking thing, which is a new development,
So stupid.
I had said today on stream that we were like, I think I said 6 years, but that's not correct. Like whenever Mary messaged me,
It was your birthday.
you were 19 and I was 27, and I agree. It's a big age difference, and do I think it's inappropriate? Yeah. I mean, I do. At the time, I didn't. At the time, I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be a real person. There's a video coming out on Catfish later on that I actually talk about this, but I was like, I'm getting catfish. Like this is not.
Yeah, you said you could be a dude in our first conversation.
I was like, you're just somebody messing with me. I was like, back up, leave me alone.
19 and 27. That is a major age gap. Do I support that? No, I don't. That's an age gap. I do judge it. I'm not like an age gap relationship girly. I know it happens, but I've always been somebody who judges it, like, especially on the older person's end. Like, I don't know. I just find it like it's icky to me. But, and again, I'm not defending this at all. I'm just saying I want to understand it from their perspective because I'm definitely the outsider judging it right now. From Mary's perspective, she started university when she was 17. She was already in her second year of university whenever they met. She's been moved out of the house, so to her, she is an adult. She feels like an adult. She's been an adult for how long now, doing university, living independently, da-da-da. Then there's Ken, who met this person, and at first didn't even think it was a real person, thought he was being catfished by her. So, I don't know, like, again, I'm not defending it. But I definitely think that it's one thing to see a situation and to judge it and to have thoughts and opinions that not everybody are going to agree on. Like, there's a lot of people who are like, there's nothing wrong with that. I beg my finest pardon, and I beg to differ because I don't agree with age-gapped relationships like I already stated. But at the same time, and again, I'm not saying but to defend them. I'm just saying it's one thing to judge something and to not agree with it. And it's another thing to judge something and then go out of your way to make egregious allegations about it. I'm not gonna lie, I've watched Ken for a while, but I really don't know the lore to him and his wife Mary. So maybe if I had different context or knew more about it, my opinion would be different. And I'm not defending the age gap, I'm really not. How can I say this to where I'm not canceled? I don't know, honestly, like I said, I don't like age-gapped relationships. It's not something I really get behind, especially when that person is young. It's technically an adult, but still, in my eyes, pretty young to be making certain decisions. That's just how I look at it, though. But I don't know enough about this relationship or that lore to actually give my thoughts and opinions here. But again, as I said, it's one thing to disagree with something and to, of course, judge it. We all have the right to do that. But then it's another thing if you just dislike something and you judge it and try to make egregious accusations about it or these conspiracies that are, you know, like, career ending on Ken's end. And I'm not trying to say, like, I hope y'all are getting what I'm trying to say here. If you're not getting it, sorry. I don't know how else to, like, really describe what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But Mary, I mean, again, I don't feel like it. If you want to go into if more or not, I don't feel like it like holds as much value if I like tell the story. But you know, it's,
I mean, yeah, it's just, I can understand people having an issue with age gap relationships. I honestly do. Like when we see those love don't judge couples and one of them is 22 and the other one's 57, I'm judging it.
oh yeah.
So
And we expect to be judged as well. That's fine.
yeah,
but
and
it's
that
like,
that's you're allowed to not like the fact that there's a few years between us, but lying and saying that I was an underage fan and that we were taught, he didn't know I existed until I messaged him and I was 19 and a half years old. Like I have all of the messages, I have all of the dates. You're just lying about it. And lying about it in defense of me still is still lying about it. It's not true.
that's been so I don't know like if it came from the Reddit or whatever.
Somebody posted it
But it's been like,
and then people believe it.
Oh yeah, that's the moral of the story. If it's posted to the internet, then people will believe it and run with it, and it becomes a huge situation that it didn't have to be. Anyways, why I wanted to make this video is like an update, of course, to the last drama that we had talked about revolving around Cinnamon Toast Ken. I'm getting to that point in the video where I am just like slurring my words. But I wanted to give like updated thoughts and opinions on the situation as well, and I wanted to kind of clarify some of the things that I even said in the last video that wasn't going over well with some of y'all. Hopefully some of the things that I've said in this video can help clarify what I was feeling and thinking in the last video that I had uploaded about this. So hopefully that gives you guys like a little bit more clarification on where I was coming from in defense of Ken. And I want y'all to understand too, it's okay to not like a channel, to not, you know, not see something that it's not your cup of tea when somebody else likes it. Not everybody's going to come across something that they truly enjoy when somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, it's the internet. Not everybody's going to like the same thing. But I feel like this is one of those situations where it's a matter of having true context. And that true context is the fact of the matter that I've watched Ken for a really long time, so I understand the jokes that he was making wasn't serious jabs. It was him trying to joke and him and Dane trying to make a little bit of a light in a situation and just to talk shit about something, how they typically do in all their other content. Like I said, it's not like they just made that one video being harsh out of nowhere. And I feel like the people who have watched Ken and Dane for a long time, or CinnamonToastKen and Buffpro, understand that this is their personality and weren't upset or offended by it and kind of clicked into that video expecting that kind of thing. Whereas there could be other people who, again, just clicked on it, didn't like it, took offense, or even people who have watched him for some time and just didn't like what he said because, again, not everybody is going to like everything somebody says, but that doesn't mean you have to jump ship and cancel them. And before I wrap up this video, wanted to like just clarify something and speak to you guys directly as my audience because I am a little bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, over how the last video went. Again, I think that everybody should be able to form their own thoughts and opinions, and it's okay to agree to disagree or, you know, that whole saying. When I first started doing commentary over here on YouTube, I knew at some point I wanted to cover certain subjects and situations where my take's not going to be great. It's not going to be something that you all agree with. Again, who's going to agree with everybody all of the time? It is not going to happen. And it's just my thoughts and opinions. Y'all have your own thoughts and opinions, and I've disagreed with a lot of the things that y'all have said in the past in the comment section, but I still respond, I still heart the comment, because I want y'all to know that we can agree to disagree. I find it a little bit silly being an adult on the internet whenever I'm having a conversation or directly speaking to other adults, and there's a disagreement on something that's being said, and you're instantly, I can't do this no more. I'm not having this conversation. And there's been a few people who said they cannot support my channel anymore for having that opinion that they disagreed with. And that's totally fine, because how I look at it, if, you know, we can't agree to disagree over here or encourage these open conversations, there's never going to be personal growth on anybody's end. And what if my take really was bad? What if I really am tone deaf and I'm just supporting a POS here on the internet? We never got to have those open discussions to fully understand each other's point of view. So, like, where is the growth? Like, where can anybody learn from that if you're just shutting down the conversation and wanting to abandon ship when it comes to this channel because you don't like something that I had talked about? I don't know, I feel like I fostered a pretty solid community over here, so it was just a little bit disappointing, to say the least, when I say something y'all don't agree with or don't like. Again, not all of you, just some of you. And y'all are like, I can't support this anymore. It's like, y'all have commented like 200 times on my page and received half of those comments hearts and like replies. And it's not even about me engaging with you guys. It's just about the open discussions that we have here that I've always encouraged. Even if it's opinions I don't agree with, I want to hear them. I want to know what y'all think so people can have open discussions. But even though I encourage open discussions, one thing I encourage way more is to protect your own peace and your own mental health. So if what I said in that last video, and if my opinion really does offend people to where they just can't be here anymore because they don't want to hear anything else I have to say, protect your peace, please click away, unsubscribe, but please don't kill my channel. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, like, I'll always support what you guys want to do. Even if that doesn't include this channel moving forward, y'all are always going to find other channels that you enjoy, and I'm happy for you that you have that option. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that up. There's more I wanted to say, but like my brain just can't remember what I wanted to say. I don't script my content. I just kind of roll into it like, here I am, like we're going to talk. I'm going to rant. It is like, let's talk shit. But yeah, that's today's video. I want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Even if I don't agree with you, I would love to see them. And, you know, for us to just have open conversations about it. I want to know everything that y'all have to say about this drama and this updated situation. Are you on Ken's side? Are you on the internet side? It's truly up to you to decide. Again, these are just my thoughts and opinions on the situation, so if you feel differently, I want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And if you agree with me, let me know as well down there. And with that being said, I'm out of breath. I always pace when I do content. I've been pacing for an hour now, but let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I will catch you in the next damn video. Alright, bye.